If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with a new episode of Under the Radar for you guys. This week, we're talking about 3 albums that came out on July 21st. And this might as well be Death Metal Central, because pretty much all these albums are death metal. Really, this weekend was just a big weekend for all things death metal for the most part. And to kick things off, we're going to talk about an album I was intending to talk about last week, but it got delayed to this week, and that is Gateway with Galdendood. So this is a Belgian death doom project, and right out of the rip, heavy guitar tone. Like, actually, I would say in terms of what could be argued as the most putrid guitar tone of recent memory, this might be up there for possibly the most putrid guitar tone I have heard in a long time. This almost feels like Mortician done in 2023 almost. And this tone, right out of the rip, playing some heavy, doomy death riffs. Even the vocals are low and putrid. It's like, am I hearing the second coming of Will Romer right now? And yeah, and pretty much most of these riffs, they're just droning, they're heavy. Like, there's an argument that could be made for the heaviest death doom album of the year. This might be that. Now, as far as production, it's raw production because, you know, the guitar tone's very gritty and nasty. But the biggest problem I have with this album, and it's really the one major thing that holds this album back, the snare is inaudible. Like, I can barely, if at all, hear the snare drum on these songs. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was intentional or something happened in the final mix and didn't know anything about it. But alas, yeah, the snare was pretty much inaudible, and that's a big, big problem. And really, for those reasons, I give this a 7 out of 10. Like, the songs were good, but the snare, without a snare being present, it takes away from the overall songs. But hey, if you're in it for just riffs, if you are a fan of Mortician, Incantation, Coffins, and Hooded Menace, I think you'll dig this. But again, be warned, the snare is pretty much inaudible. But now moving on to the second album, and that is Cadaver with The Age of the Offended. So this is a Norwegian death metal band, and one of the pioneers of death metal in Norway, even though I would say the most well-known is Blood Red Throne, and then you got other ones like Zyklon, Murkskog, Obliteration, and then there's Cadaver, and this is on Nuclear Blast Records, so this is one of the bigger releases of the week. And I got curious to check this out because I've always heard about Cadaver, but I've never listened to any of their stuff. And there's only one original member left, Anders Odden, who was the original guitarist, and now he does guitars, bass, and vocals, but the drums are handled by Dirk Verburen from Soilwork, Aborted, and currently in Megadeth. Now, right out of the gate, this is some old-school sounding death metal. Mostly, I would say, Florida death metal. Like, lots of triplet chugs, nasty tremolos, blast beats, groove, little hints of dissonance, and a lot of thrashy energy all throughout. Now, the vocals definitely feel closer to black metal than they do death metal. Like, they're more that raspy kind of scream. And the production itself is actually pretty solid and excuse me, and a pretty pretty solid mix. I cannot speak today. So, overall, I actually really enjoyed this. It was kind of goofy at times, like the lyrics are pretty goofy, but musically, if you are a fan of Morbid Angel, Deicide, Cannibal Corpse, and Blood Red Throne, there's going to be a lot of elements of those bands you will hear on this I really liked it. I'm going to give this 8.5 out of 10. I really, really like this. So yeah, maybe I should go back and take a look at some old Cadaver albums and see the evolution. But now we're on to the final album, and that is Outer Heaven with Infinite Psychic Depths. So this is a Pennsylvania death metal band. So the one American contributor of the week overall that I'm talking about. And of course, if memory serves me right, I think I talked about their debut that came out in 2018, or I brought it up in the top 10 albums of 2018 episode of the Horseman podcast, and I really liked it. It was kind of like this hybrid of death, doom, and hardcore. Not so much anymore on here. This is mostly just straight up death metal, like not really any doom parts, maybe very sparingly, same with the hardcore grooves, but mostly this is just like nasty, disgusting, thrashy death metal with thrash brutality, nasty tremolos, blast beats. It even gets really technical, almost like tomb mold levels of technicality. There's even little hints of melody in the guitar solos. The vocals, super guttural, and the guitar tone is quite nasty. And even the production and the mix, probably overall the best production mix of these three albums. Holy shit, this album, I was expecting to hear more of like the groovy hardcore stuff from the debut, but no, we got a very good trade-off. We got more hyper-speed, thrashy, almost bordering on tech death, but not all about the wankery, but more about actual song construction. So if you are a fan of bands like Morbid Angel, Incantation, Creeping Death even, and Tomb Mold, you will love this. I absolutely did. This is a possible top 10 contender for 2023. 9.5 out of 10. I will definitely be picking this up whenever I can. Holy shit, it's fantastic. But of course, these are all just my opinions. What did you guys think of these three albums? And of course, links will be in the description box. And until next time, keep your horns high and your dreams wet.